How's this weekend shaping up for your team?
Yeah, I think this weekend is really continues on the theme that we've been on, and that's just improvement. So just focusing on taking another couple of steps forward. It's a bit of a broken record, but the results haven't necessarily gone the way that we hoped so far. But there are signs there that we're heading in the right direction, really, with a young team, in a rebuilding phase, I suppose. That's all we're after. And if we keep doing that and keep taking those steps forward, the results will eventually turn our way, and hopefully that happens this weekend.
Have you tried to recreate some of the intensity of the match in training? Because I know you said before that you just weren't quite at that level.
Yeah, definitely. I think you always want to try and do that, but obviously the last couple of weeks we've really put a focus on sort of upping the ante, I suppose, in that respect. So that's definitely a focus for us, and just putting that sort of game time defensive pressure on our offence is really a focus, but really hard to replicate when you might be training in front of maybe 2 or 3 people in the grandstand as opposed to playing in front of 500 or 600. So for a young team, that's an adjustment that we're going to have to make on the run as we go through the season.
Are you confident that adjustment will come, that your best is good enough to be really competitive?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I guess for us at the moment, if you dig a little bit deeper into the numbers, we're actually heading in the right direction, and I think in comparison to where the group was last year, we're playing a much better style of basketball and much more connected. It's just one area, and that's looking after the ball when the other team turns up the defensive pressure that sort of is letting us down. So absolute confidence in the group that we have, 1 through to 16 or 17 players that we have, that they can all at some stage eventually get out there and play a role for us, but it's going to take some time. So we just have to be patient, keep working on the things that we're working on. But I think the pleasing thing for us is the things that we focused on in the pre-season in terms of our defence, being able to rebound against bigger bodies, and when we actually get into our offence, that all looks good. It's really just being able to sustain that offensive structure under the pressure for 40 minutes.
I know it's in a way it's apples and oranges, but you mentioned defence and rebounding against bigger bodies. Do you look at what Scott Roth has done with the jack jumpers and give you hope that even if you don't have the strongest team on paper, you can still find clever ways to match it?
Absolutely, yeah, and we've referenced that a few times with the girls in terms of, if you need to draw any inspiration from anywhere, look no further than Scott and his team and what he's done, as an undersized team in that league as well. Being able to battle on the boards and use their intensity and their offensive, structures to combat that lack of, I don't want to say lack of talent, but less talent than perhaps what the opposition is rolling out, and less height and physicality. So definitely an example for our girls to follow, and as I said, we have referenced that a few times. So.